The beginning. The man who shaped the world. Genghis Khan, born as Tigin in the rugged wilds of the Mongolian steppe in the early 1160s, came from humble beginnings. He was the son of a chieftain in a land divided by tribal rivalries, hardship, and endless struggle. By the age of 20, he had already endured betrayal, captivity, starvation, and war. But through it all, Tigin grew into something the world had never seen before, a leader who would unify the fractured tribes of the Mongol plateau and forge them into a single unstoppable war machine. In 1206, he was proclaimed Genghis Khan, universal ruler. What followed was a reign that left the world both in awe and in terror. The Mongol Empire he built stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. His armies conquered the Jin dynasty, the Khwarezmian Empire, and vast swathes of Central Asia. His name became a warning, whispered in fear and fascination across continents. Yet for all his brutal tactics, Genghis Khan was also a master of administration, diplomacy, and cultural integration. He championed religious tolerance, built trade networks that would eventually become the Silk Road, and implemented systems of meritocracy that rivaled the bureaucracies of later empires. And then in 1227, during a campaign in northwestern China, Genghis Khan died. His cause of death remains unclear. Some say he fell off his horse. Others claim he was wounded in battle or succumbed to illness. But one thing was universally agreed upon: his death was to be kept a secret. His burial site was to be hidden forever. The myth of the hidden tomb began. According to legend, Genghis Khan's funeral procession killed every living thing they passed to maintain secrecy. Upon reaching the burial site, believed to be somewhere near the sacred Pan Kaldan mountain, his most loyal soldiers buried him in an unmarked grave. To erase all traces, they allegedly diverted rivers over the site and trampled the area with horses. Some tales even claimed that the soldiers who buried him were executed afterward and that those who executed them were also killed, creating a chain of silence sealed by death. No tomb, no monument, no sign. For centuries, historians, treasure hunters, archaeologists, and even military expeditions tried to uncover the location. The Soviets searched for it. The Japanese hunted for it during World War II. And more recently, multinational teams with cutting-edge technology scanned the Mongolian steppe for hidden anomalies. Always coming close, but never certain. That is until a group of researchers from Mongolia, Japan, and the United States launched the Conquest project in 2021. Their goal was ambitious: to combine ground-penetrating radar, drone photogrammetry, and AI-assisted mapping to scour the area surrounding Pan Kaldan. What they found shocked even the most skeptical experts. In 2023, after 2 years of silent excavation, a team uncovered what appeared to be an artificial chamber buried over 80 feet beneath the surface. Unlike traditional tombs or burial mounds, this chamber was architecturally advanced, built with interlocking stone blocks designed to resist erosion and collapse. The location was kept secret at first. Rumors spread online through leaked satellite images and insider reports. Then came the bombshell on the Joe Rogan Experience. A guest, an archaeologist connected to the dig, spoke about anomalous artifacts and non-human materials being found at the site. Though cautious in tone, his words lit the fuse. On January 8, 2025, the Mongolian government confirmed it. A high-security archaeological dig had uncovered what they believed to be the tomb of Genghis Khan. Inside the tomb were unbelievable artifacts. Researchers discovered a burial vault unlike anything ever recorded in Mongol history. Ornate murals lined the walls depicting celestial constellations, astrological symbols, and battles fought in the clouds. The sarcophagus was sealed in a black crystalline material of unknown origin. Around it, dozens of relics were carefully arranged in ritual patterns. A bow made of a metal composite that does not oxidize. Scrolls written in a language no expert could immediately identify, etched with unnerving precision. A mask bearing humanoid features but lacking pupils sat among the relics. Its interior was lined with thin strands of gold, possibly for neurological interface. There was also a device resembling a primitive telescope, but with optics that magnified far beyond our modern capabilities. Organic remnants were found that DNA labs claim contain unidentified genetic sequences. And then there was the map etched onto an obsidian slab. The map displayed not the Eurasian continent, but something else. Terrain unfamiliar to any known geography, filled with glyphs resembling both astronomical charts and topographical gradients. Accompanying the map were several crystals that, when exposed to light, emitted low-frequency vibrations strong enough to disrupt electronic devices, a mystery beyond history. So, what do these findings suggest? Are we dealing with advanced ancient technology? Evidence that the Mongols possessed knowledge we have long since lost? Or could these artifacts suggest something even more paradigm-shattering, that Genghis Khan, or those who buried him, had contact with a now-forgotten civilization? Some have whispered the words, ancient aliens. Others suggest a breakaway human society with lost technologies hidden away by time and war. Even mainstream archaeologists, normally skeptical of such claims, admit that the tomb contains objects that cannot be explained by any known Mongolian, Chinese, or Persian cultural context. UNESCO has already declared the site an international heritage zone. Major nations are now vying for academic access, but tension is building. Mongolia sees the tomb as a sacred national legacy. Outside forces see it as a key to lost human history or perhaps something more. The legacy of a legend. Genghis Khan remains a polarizing figure. To some, he was a ruthless warlord who left rivers of blood in his wake. To others, he was a visionary leader who reshaped the world through policy, tolerance, and innovation. But now, his tomb has opened a new chapter, one that transcends legacy, geopolitics, and archaeology. If even half of what was found inside that vault proves legitimate, we may be standing at the edge of a historical revelation that rivals the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, the tomb of Tutankhamun, and the Dead Sea Scrolls all at once. Only one thing is certain: history is far from over, and its deepest secrets may still lie buried beneath our feet. The ripple effects of the tomb's discovery were immediate and global. News outlets scrambled for footage. Scholars demanded access. Politicians began issuing cautious but loaded statements. The Mongolian Prime Minister appeared on state television declaring the find a sacred turning point in the spiritual and historical identity of the Mongol people. Security around the site intensified as rumors swirled of stolen relics, black market interest, and covert foreign intelligence involvement. Some even speculated that the United States and China had sent secret observers to the dig under the guise of academic liaison. Within weeks, the tomb of Genghis Khan became the most heavily guarded archaeological site in the world. As more information emerged from inside the vault, the narrative only grew more complex. Carbon dating placed many of the organic materials in the expected 13th century range, but several samples returned readings far older, some as ancient as 3000 BCE. That raised immediate questions. Had the tomb been constructed atop an older site, or were these relics heirlooms passed down from civilizations long gone? The crystalline sarcophagus in particular became the focus of intense study. Its composition was unknown to modern materials science. The structure was impervious to standard tools. Only through controlled particle abrasion, normally reserved for space probe materials, were researchers able to open a viewing panel without damaging the rest. What they found inside stunned the world once more. The body within was remarkably preserved, almost unnaturally so. Although no official declaration has been made regarding the identity, leaked images appeared to show a man matching known depictions of Genghis Khan. Broad-shouldered, long-bearded, his face bearing Mongolian highland features. He wore robes embroidered with tiny reflective discs unlike anything recorded from the period. His hands were folded over a small cube that seemed to pulse faintly when exposed to heat or light. Some claimed the cube emitted electromagnetic signatures not dissimilar to quantum resonance. Others believed it to be symbolic, perhaps a talisman for the afterlife. Further complicating the puzzle were the scrolls. Some were encoded in vertical pictographic glyphs that bore faint resemblance to both ancient Sumerian and Shang dynasty scripts, yet matched neither. Artificial intelligence models struggled to interpret them. Some passages translated roughly into what appeared to be celestial coordinates or mytho-historical poems describing entities that walk without form and stars that pulse with the blood of heaven. Though vague, these writings hinted at a cosmology far removed from the animist shamanism traditionally associated with Mongol culture. Were these texts metaphorical, spiritual, or something else entirely? The geopolitical stakes of the discovery cannot be overstated. Mongolia, long overlooked in international affairs, now found itself in possession of a global treasure. The government, while proud, quickly grew defensive. Several Western academic institutions were denied access after early reports of data being leaked to corporate defense contractors. China issued a formal statement reminding the world that historical regional influence does not stop at modern borders. The discoveries inside Genghis Khan's tomb have forced historians and archaeologists alike to reconsider the Mongol Empire not merely as a force of conquest but as a hub of cultural, technological, and even potentially metaphysical knowledge. The artifacts suggest that Genghis Khan and his followers may have had access to techniques and understanding far ahead of their time, challenging conventional timelines of human innovation. Scholars have begun comparing the crystalline sarcophagus to modern synthetic materials used in aerospace engineering, noting its ability to endure pressure, temperature fluctuation, and erosion over centuries. If human hands alone constructed such a marvel, it implies engineering prowess previously unrecognized in 13th century Mongolia. The obsidian map has become the center of intense study and speculation. Unlike any traditional cartographic record, it appears to chart lands and celestial alignments unknown to contemporary civilizations. Some astronomers have suggested that the glyphs correspond to specific star systems or planetary arrangements, hinting at astronomical observations that predate known telescopic technology. Others posit that the map may represent an early form of multidimensional navigation, combining geography with celestial mechanics, a concept usually reserved for modern astrophysics. The possibility that Genghis Khan's empire had access to knowledge of the stars, or even of otherworldly territories, has ignited debate in academic circles worldwide. Meanwhile, the scrolls language has prompted a renaissance in cryptographic study. Linguists and AI specialists are collaborating to decode the vertical pictographs, seeking patterns that might reveal not only practical instructions but philosophical, spiritual, or even scientific treatises. Early translations suggest a sophisticated understanding of natural laws, with passages describing celestial events in precise numerical ratios and sequences, akin to a proto-scientific code. If confirmed, these texts could rewrite the narrative of intellectual history, demonstrating that the Mongols were not just warriors but also custodians of complex knowledge systems, blending spirituality, mathematics, and natural philosophy. The geopolitical implications of the tomb's contents are equally profound. With multiple nations vying for influence and access, Mongolia has found itself at the center of a delicate balancing act between sovereignty and global curiosity. The government has emphasized that the tomb is a sacred national heritage, warning that exploitation or unauthorized excavation could violate centuries of cultural integrity. Yet international demand for study and exhibition continues to grow, highlighting tensions between national pride, academic pursuit, and the potential for unprecedented discoveries. Security measures at the site are unprecedented. Surveillance drones, AI-based monitoring systems, and heavily armed personnel ensure that no unauthorized access is possible. Researchers and archaeologists must navigate stringent protocols, wearing sensor-laden suits to prevent contamination of artifacts and avoid triggering the low-frequency crystal vibrations detected around the obsidian map. Rumors of black market interest and espionage have only heightened the tension, as some speculate that advanced materials and devices inside the tomb could revolutionize technology if reverse-engineered. Despite the tension and secrecy, the discovery has inspired a global fascination with Genghis Khan's life and legacy. Documentaries, academic conferences, and virtual exhibitions are being planned to explore the tomb's contents while respecting Mongolia's claim to cultural guardianship. This unprecedented combination of history, archaeology, and potentially a